A week before Memorial Day, my family and I received the so exciting news that we would be driving to Strasburg, North Dakota to go to a funeral. Yes, the hometown of Lawrence Welk, also known as the longest road trip known to mankind. My husband and I, our two kids, both under the age of 2.5, drove the exciting roads of Pancake Flat, North Dakota. Every few miles we'd drive through a town with a population of 2 people, and then there'd be more and more farmland. I was the driver on this trip, and it only took a little while for the excitement before all 3 passengers fell asleep. I started to think about the details and planning that go into a funeral. I looked at my family, as they were at least for now peacefully sleeping, and I wondered what legacy I would leave for them. I wondered what lessons they would say they learned from me in life. And tonight, I would like to share with this great PKN group the lessons that I have been taught and I hope and strive to pass on. The most foundational lesson that I'm very thankful to have learned from my parents is the lesson of faith. Faith has strengthened me in the best of times, and there have also been times in my life where I felt hopeless and filled with despair. It was during these times that praying and having faith gave me the strength that I needed to carry on. I'm an expressive person, so the positive side to this is when I get excited, I get really excited. I cheer loudly at sporting events, and I love motivating a team of people. The not so positive side is when I get frustrated, I get really frustrated. So a quote from Lou Gehrig is something I always try to remember, and the quote is, "The ball player who loses his head, who can't keep his cool, is worse than no ball player at all." I've learned that in life, often as you get older, perspective changes. For example, when I was younger, I thought it was really annoying when I'd come home from school and complain about homework, and my dad's response would be, "Apply yourself. Every day you need to challenge yourself." So in typical teenage fashion, I would quickly get my homework done so I could hang out with my friends. The only problem was, before we could hang out with our friends, my mom would have to check my homework. And so if she spotted that the homework was a little rushed through and not done to the best of our ability, her motto would come out, which was, "Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best." It is because of these lessons that every day I strive to do better than yesterday. I have learned that striving for your personal best is something that will always help a person be successful in life. I will continue to share these keys of success with my children, no matter how many eye rolls they give me. There was a time in my life I was so worried I couldn't sleep at night. I had health issues, and my stress level was out of control. It was during this time that I received the best advice I've ever received. The advice, after a particularly bad day, I was doing the crazy girl cry, the snorting, and my dad calmly said to me, "Lauralee, you need to do something every day that is fun and makes you laugh." At first, this was a real struggle for me. Then it seemed everywhere I looked, there was opportunities to laugh. For example, after we got married, my husband introduced me to the man way of changing toilet paper. And I introduced him to my way of loading the dishwasher, which was every dish that possibly needed to be washed needed to get in that machine because I was not going to wash it by hand. After a while, we decided we wanted even more humor in our lives, so we decided to have children. There are days when our head turns for 1 second and suddenly our daughter has sunglasses on. Or when we teach our son about telling people his name and he proudly tells them with a twinkle in his eye, "I'm Santa. Nice to meet you." Having children has made us laugh, and I have learned another valuable lesson. When you have children, you receive another organ. This organ I like to call the fear organ. It was after many nights and days of worrying about whether or not they would slip and fall, get sick, have the right friends, marry the right people, that my husband couldn't take it anymore. Now please understand he's a patient man, but as he so kindly put it, "What's the worst that could happen, Lauralee?" Then he continued to explain that in life, if you really think about it, the worst that happens really isn't that bad. I appreciated this lesson on courage, and in fact, courage is pretty contagious. I hope to pass that on to my children. In life, I have learned that you have to believe in yourself. I read an article once about looking in the mirror every day and telling yourself that you are amazing. It may sound lame, but the point is not to be taken lightly. Believing in yourself is something that few people do and that most people need to do more. You are the only you, so be the best you that you can be. Believing in yourself is important, and equally important is believing in others. I recently started a job that I often find one of my main roles is to believe in the people that I work with. As I hear the stories unfold and I continue to search and find what motivates each individual, I am reminded of a lesson I have learned in the past. Every person needs somebody to believe in them. It's easy to see what is wrong with somebody, but it is harder to walk in their shoes. I have learned that you can never walk in somebody else's shoes because the shoes never fit you right. Instead, it is more supportive, and I have learned a lot more walking beside somebody and listening to their story. Whenever I start thinking or talking about shoes, I think about racing. Our family loves to be involved in races. My husband, our kids, my parents, and my brothers have all participated in some aspect of the Fargo Marathon. We have a great time preparing for it and a great time on the day of the race. Every time as we line up to either participate or watch, I'm always reminded of the best lesson in life, which is life is not a race. As my feet hit the pavement or the race begins, I think of the journey of life. When I remember that life is a journey and not a race, then it is easier to prioritize my to-do list, it is easier to not become overwhelmed, and all the moments that happen are more enjoyable. I don't feel the need to rush things, and I find gifts in every day. I am reminded to keep my faith in the journey and believe the best in myself and others. It is my hope that my children will also learn to celebrate each day because it is a gift. It may sound cliche, but each day is a day that is full of opportunity and experiences that you will never forget in your life, and it will remain in your heart. When days are hard or stressful, celebrate the fact that you have today. There are many people who would just love to have one more day. These lessons are a legacy passed down from my parents, my husband's parents, and also those who we have had the honor to share paths with. I'm deeply humbled to have so many wonderful people in our lives and to have the opportunity to learn what we have. My legacy will be filled with faith, smiles, hard work, courage, believing in oneself and others, and remembering life as a journey, an opportunity to teach others and create your own legacy. Thank you for being here tonight.